On this episode, you're going to hear from the 4 handlers at the 2024 UKC Hunting Beagle World Championship. You want to stay tuned for this one. You're listening to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast, celebrating hunting dog heritage, competition, and community. United Kennel Club has been the hunting dog sports home for coonhounds, beagles, retrievers, pointers, cur, feist, and more for over 125 years. Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. This is Alan Gingrich. I'm flying solo today, well, for the most part. We're going to talk about the 2024 Hunting Beagle World Championship today. So I'm not quite solo. As we're recording this, we're actually driving home on a Monday morning still from the event. So I am in the passenger seat of the vehicle. We're going down the interstate and say hello to my co-worker here, Miss Taylor Armstrong.
Hello, everyone.
Did you have fun this weekend, Taylor?
I did. I always have fun at the Beagle events.
Yeah, they're always a lot of fun. Good people, and this year was no different. Long ride. It was like 9 hours for us, and we took off yesterday afternoon Sunday afternoon, I guess, after we got everything packed up and all that, and we drove for about 3 or 4 hours, and we were tired, so we stopped, pulled over, and we're driving home the rest of the trip here today, so kind of break it up a little bit. So it's not been bad, but hey, we've got a lot of content here today that we're going to share with you guys. Interviews of the final 4 handlers in the final cast, and then another bonus one. We're going to talk with our Youth Handler Award recipient as well. So I don't want to take up a whole lot of time and just get right to it. You know, it was another great event. Just ran very smoothly. I don't think we had one question to come back in. The big thing for the weekend, and I knew leading up to it, the local guys there were telling us how dry it's been. They needed rain so bad and just haven't had any. So that was kind of the talk of the town, so to speak. But the first day on Friday, we had 37 casts that went out on Friday. And actually, out of those 37 casts, we only had 3 that did not have plus points. So that was really encouraging and better than we had might have expected. So that was good. But then Saturday morning, gosh darn it, the bottom kind of dropped out of it for the most part. They struggled on Saturday morning. I don't know if it was just the conditions just seemed really bad, but then Saturday evening it was much better again, and then the final cast, they struggled a little bit as well, so it was kind of a morning thing, it seemed, other than Friday morning. But anyways, we'll get to that final cast there in just a little bit, but I do want to thank all the guides and everybody that had a hand in this. Mike Roy, Garrett Cunningham, Tammy Mosley, and everybody associated with the Douglas County Beagle Club, the host club there. They did a fantastic job. Certainly appreciate all their prep work that they did for leading up to this event. It was really good. So and they had put a lot of stock into it, and we really appreciate it, and it showed. But hey, let's get right to the show winners. Our overall show was held on Friday between rounds 1A and 1B, and our overall winner was none other than Josh Byers. Those of you that are familiar with our Hunting Beagle program, have been to several events, you've probably seen Josh Byers. Always puts his dogs in the hunts and the shows, and he's one of those, has some very close connections with his dogs. One of them is Tigerback Merle, a dog he's been showing for several years, has had a lot of success with the dog, a nice looking dog, and he is the overall winner. And I can tell you there's nobody more excited this last weekend, I don't think, than was Josh Byers. You could make an argument for the overall winner too, of the hunt as well, I'm sure. But man, Josh Byers, he was emotional about this win, and sure made he was sure happy for Merle to win this. So dog is a dual grand champion, Grand Hunting Beagle Champion, J&B's Tigerback Merle, Josh Byers from Missouri. So congratulations to Josh. Our opposite sex champion, and was also the Grand Champion female winner, our congratulations to Mike Higby. He's local right there with last year's World Show winner. That is Hunting Beagle Champion, Grand Champion, No Cures Angel Maker, opposite sex and Grand Champion female winner. Our champion male winner was Rat Rooster Blue Duck. That's a Hunting Beagle Champion, owned by Danny Lee and Aaron Collins. They call him Pig Collins, and was handled in the show by Caleb Burnett. This dog also made the top 12 of the top 12 in the hunt portion of it. Nice dog, they say. Champion female winner was Brook Hollow Bella. That's a dog owned by Jason Snelson. Was handled by Briley Owens, young lady handler. Did a nice job handling that dog. Our best male of show in the registered portion, if I can look at my results here, was Donnie Baker. Donnie Baker is he's kind of been out of it for a little while, but he came back with a dog named Red Rocks Little Ackley. He's also from Missouri, and he was a nice dog, won best male of show, and was the senior male winner in the registered class. Our best female of show and senior female winner was No Cures Holding My Jeans. That dog's owned and handled by Mike Higby. And the other two registered class winners were a junior male straight ball in Whiskey River, that's owned by Roderick, and Tammy Mosley, also of Missouri, handled by Roderick. And then the junior female winner was Hunting Beagle Champion Osborne's Indy 500, owned and handled by Daniel Osborne. I think we had 29 dogs that were in the World Show, and so congratulations to all those winners there, and again to the overall world champion, Josh Byers with Merle. I wanted to get Merle on the he probably would have had Merle on the podcast, but get Josh on the podcast here. But he had to get home. He had something with his family. He had to get home and could not come back. So maybe we'll get to talk to Josh some other time. But hey, let's get right into it. Our first person you're going to hear from here is our Youth Handler Award recipient. The way we do that, it's very simple. The 17 and under handlers that are there, the one that gets the farthest, and in the top 12 in the semifinals, we still had two. Brock Butler from Michigan was still in it with his tank dog, as was Aiden Little with Ghost. So after that semifinal round, it was Aiden Little that ended up having the best score, finished second in cast with a pretty good score on Saturday night, and that made him our Youth Handler Award recipient. So you're first going to hear from Aiden and I having a little conversation, and let's take a listen. Man, Aiden, you've had a good run here. It seems like, earlier this year, first at the Nationals, was your little brother. I was talking to him at this very table here. This year, it's you at the World Hunt.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Man, I'm stoked. Hunted a bunch of great dogs today.
Yeah.
Just best dog won it.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk a little. How long have you been hunting? How old are you, and how long have you been hunting?
I'm 15, I think. I've kind of been around beagles my whole life, but just started competition hunting 2 years ago.
Yeah. Who got you into it?
I'd say my brother and Braxton and Bailey and Eric.
Your younger brother.
Yep.
Yeah. What'd you do for fun before that?
Played baseball. Played a bunch of video games.
Yeah. You still playing baseball and stuff?
Yep.
Are you?
Yep.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay. Yeah. So they got you into the Beagles. What is it that you like about the?
I just love listening to them and watching them.
If there was no competition, would you still like to run Beagles?
Yeah, it's nice.
Don't you think there's if you like sports, that was me. I like to play all kinds of sports, but even hunting with dogs, that's still a sport.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that I always tell people that's different and unique about it, if you and I are on the same team, you and I can kind of work together to try to make things happen. But here in this sport, we're working with an animal. That kind of brings its own different, unique element to it.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your dog, High Prairie Ghost.
He's a young dog. I mean, when I first got him, bought him from Garrett Cunningham, he was, I don't know, I don't think he'd been worked with very much. Garrett had better dogs. He just needed him off his hands. So I was like, I need a dog to run. So I ran him for a few weeks. Really liked him. I bought him, and I've been working with him ever since, and he's only been getting better.
Yeah. Do you hunt a lot during the week, or what does that look like for you?
About every day after school.
Do you?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's got to be good for a young dog like this.
Oh, yeah.
What is it that you like most about Ghost?
He's true to his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he produces.
Yeah. Do you feel when you're taking them to these hunts, you feel pretty confident as far as, hey, 2 years now, you should know the rules pretty well and stuff like that?
Yeah, I really believe in him. I think he's going to be something big.
Yeah, good. Good. That's always good to hear and fun when if you have a dog that makes you go hunt.
Yeah.
So what is he off of?
His line.
Yeah, his sire and dam.
So his grandfather is Bone Collector.
Okay, yeah.
And his dad is Sing It To Me Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And his mom's some female they bred too. I think it's Southwoods Kaya or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's so tell us a little bit about your hunts this week. So Friday, did you hunt in the morning or afternoon?
Yeah, I hunted in the morning, just didn't have a good run in minus out with another dog I have.
But here with Ghost, you hunted him in the afternoon then?
Yep, had 620.
Yeah, I thought you had a good score. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, did you have the high score?
Nope, Jason did with 8 something.
Okay, yeah. And then this morning you hunted. How was that this morning? It's tough for everybody.
It was tough. They would circle it, and they would lose it, and then there were some rabbits they'd run really well, some rabbits they wouldn't.
Yeah, but you still ended up squeaking a win out of it.
Yep, 335. I barely got it by.
Hey, that was still one of the better scores this morning.
Yeah.
And then here tonight again, you are in the barn burner cast here. You placed second in a cast where the winner that's moving on had 670. It just edged you out with 645, and then the third place dog had 640. That had to be a heck of a cast.
There were some good dogs. That dog that won it, he's a real nice hound.
Boomer.
Yeah, and I really like that female, Heidi. I think that's what they call
Hydra
them.
Shock, yeah. Harley Swaggers.
Yeah, really nice guys too.
Yeah.
Nice and fair.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was a great cast.
How would you wrap up if you were telling your buddies at school about this, or your teacher or something, your principal, to be serious? How would you describe your weekend here at the World Hunt? What would you tell them?
Very chaotic.
Chaotic? As in how?
Yeah, well, I came in
because I prematurely did the youth award. Was that one of them?
Yeah, jinxed me.
No, it worked out for you.
Yeah, you handed them back to me.
You can't say that. We'll get to that in a minute here, but go ahead. So how would you describe your weekend to your principal?
I'd say it's kind of hard to explain these to people that really have like no idea, but I'd say it's an exciting weekend. I came out here more just to have fun. I didn't really think to get far. I just thought to come and have a good time. And
but it's also fun to win, isn't it?
It's fun to win, yeah. Yeah, it's fun to win, but yeah, I describe it as exciting.
Yeah. Do you have buddies at school that are like, why would you do that? Or that, I don't understand why you would want to hunt dogs.
Yeah, there's a bunch of city boys from my school, and they don't really know.
Do you ever take any of them hunting with you? Or?
No, I got a few buddies that are in the coon hounds.
Oh, yeah.
I got a buddy actually that just bought a beagle. He's going to start bringing them over. We're going to run some beagles sometime.
Yeah.
He's going to get into it.
Yeah. So I mentioned the youth award, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you here and bring you on the podcast here. You are our 2024 youth award recipient here at the World Hunt. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you advanced the farthest, and we're talking a little bit about a boo-boo, and gosh darn it, we had you and Brock Butler were both in the semifinals, and I forgot that Brock was in there, and I apologized to Brock, and I had kind of started prematurely, like when we did the semifinals, that mentioned that you were going to be our award winner, and I'm like, oh, your dad actually stood up and said, no, not yet.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I didn't know if it went off total points or who got the dog first.
Yeah, no, it's just the furthest.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Placement, yeah. So, but in the end, gosh, sometimes I've made plenty of mistakes, but that's a big boo-boo on my part, and that's kind of humiliating. But like I said, sometimes it's good to be humiliated a little bit.
It happens.
Doggone it, I hated it. But anyways, but here we are, so congratulations, you still ended up winning it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what's next? What do you got? This kind of wraps up the big five here for this fall. What's next for you and Ghost? Any plans as far as hunts or anything?
I think just local hunts, and then I think the next big hunt may be Clash.
Okay. Eliminator is first, and then the Clash. Probably NHBA comes up.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you guys rabbit hunt a lot in the season or what?
All year.
All year?
All year.
But I'm talking about in gun season and stuff.
Oh, no.
You don't?
We've never went out and shotguns around dogs.
Just like more for the dog, running the dogs.
Yeah, getting their exercise in and hours in.
Yeah. Heck yeah, that's kind of how I've always been too. Just loved it for the dogs more than anything. So, do you deer hunt or do anything else?
Yeah, I deer hunt, turkey hunt, squirrel hunt, all of it.
All of it. Jeez, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
a lot of fun. What about high school sports? You said baseball. Anything else?
Baseball.
Just baseball.
Yeah.
Also, that's over with for right now. Or you don't play till in the spring, I guess.
Yeah, our fall season just got out.
Yeah. So, hey, Aiden, congratulations again. I'll let you go, but I appreciate your time here. Congratulations again, man. Keep it up. Keep up the hard work, and I want to wish you continued success. And I like to see young guys having success and hunting dogs and getting them ready and getting them where they can win like this. And you can't not do your homework and expect to win. So obviously you guys are doing your homework.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
All righty, man. Congratulations. So there you go. That's some good stuff with Aiden. If you go back and listen to an episode that we did after the Hunting Beagle Nationals here, the 2024 Nationals, his brother Bentley, he was a big winner there. So I had Bentley on the podcast that time. So this time it was his older brother Aiden. Both of them boys, they love to hunt and they love the sport, and that's a couple of good boys here. So congratulations to Aiden. Good stuff right there. So the next was after Saturday night's finals. The first cast back in had 4 casts to go out in the semifinals, 4 3-dog casts to give us a 4-dog final. Then first person back in was Jason Rhodes. He's from a couple hours from there, so he's not exactly just a local, but he's not too far from there. He had a little dog named Ace, and a bunch of the guys that drew him talked pretty highly of this little Ace dog. Did a really nice job throughout the weekend. He won the semifinal cast, and he was my first interview. Sat down with Jason to talk about him and Ace. So here we go. Well, Jason, you're the first one back in here on Saturday night with Rhodes Ace. Man, I've been hearing the guys talk about this as a snapping good little hound here, and it's kind of proven you've just kind of waltzed it all the way to the final cast here. What are your thoughts here?
Just getting lucky, I think.
Well, I don't know. That's not what they're telling me. They said he looked pretty good tonight. Running has just been tough, hasn't it?
Been very, very tough.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk a little bit. Start with you a little bit. You live in, where was it? Thayer, Missouri. Where is that?
It's about 65 miles south of Mountain Grove here.
Okay.
Right on the Arkansas line.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we don't see at a whole lot of events, but the guys say you come up to the Eliminator. Matter of fact, you won the Eliminator here a couple of years ago, didn't you?
2023, I won the Eliminator.
Was it with this dog or a different dog?
No, it was with a female I've got.
A female you've got,
Grove's Crazy Train.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living?
I own a car lot.
Okay. Yeah. So do you keep several beagles or just a couple you hunt or what?
I think I've got 6 right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything I've raised.
Yeah. Been a rabbit hunter all your life?
All my life.
Yeah.
Started when I was probably 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Had them ever since.
Yeah. So you're in the car business. I don't know that we had a guy, coon hunter, over in, where was it? West Virginia, I guess. Bridgeport, West Virginia. He was a car salesman, did a lot of coon hunting and stuff, but I don't guess I know a lot of guys that yeah, hey, that's interesting. So but I know I've seen you before. Now that the name kind of comes to me, processing the Eliminator results or what have you. So but hey, what's Rhodes Ace here? He's about what, a 4-year-old?
4-year-old, between 4 and 5.
Yeah, and you raised him, right?
Yes.
And you said his sire was Markham's Dozer. He's kind of an AKC.
They're all AKC dogs.
And then one of your older females.
Yes.
I got you. So nice looking little dog, built good.
Yeah,
you the other day, Thursday or Friday, when we took the first picture, you said he's not a good bench dog.
No, he never been on a bench.
But we got him up there and settled him down a little. He's a good looking little hound.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, little guy, but what is it that you like about this dog? What would you say are his strong suits here?
Yeah, he minds better than my children. That's the reason I like him.
Yeah. So, well, I know the guys that just came in a little bit ago. They said he looked really good, and he was he deserved to move on here. So, talk a little bit about how your hunts went here so far. So Friday morning you had round 1, And then this morning you had 2, and then this afternoon round 3. Talk a little bit about those. Anything that really stood out to you there? Did you?
No, there's been plenty of rabbits. It's just the conditions, so
Tough.
dry. The scenting conditions are tough.
Do you think that helped him? Did that favor him, you feel like, or?
Maybe a little bit. He's got a little bit stronger nose than a lot of the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, what tomorrow morning, well, obviously you're the first one back, so we don't know who you're going to be up against, but there's a couple of good local hounds here that are still in it as well. I'm sure you probably know a little bit about those dogs.
Yes, I've run with most of them.
Yeah. So talk about a little bit, what other big events have you had a lot of success with over the years with any other major events? You mentioned the Eliminator.
I used to run years ago. I run a lot of them, probably 15, 20 years ago.
That's what I was told that you used to.
Yeah, I've had some success before. It's been a long time ago. I lost NHBA days on a flip.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's got to be tough. No kidding. Was that when it was here?
It was the first time that Jason Mercer had it.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Yeah.
Or wasn't it?
Yeah, that was maybe 10 years ago or 10, 12 years ago.
It was probably over that.
Maybe. I've been
I would say it
UKC
was
20, so maybe.
I'd say it was 15 or better.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's got to be tough.
Me and Jeffrey Roberts actually used to have the Moark
Club.
UKC Club.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That makes, yeah.
A long time ago, and I quit for quite a while. I just got real busy in the car business and kids,
but always kept a few.
I always
dogs
had
around.
Beagles, but I just didn't have time to trial.
Hey, so from back then to now, 15, 20 years ago, do you see that it's changed a lot or a little bit or what?
It's changed some, not a terribly lot. But
obviously a lot of different people.
Yeah, other different people. But
the dogs, as far as the dogs, have been that long ago, see much difference in the dogs?
I think now, from which with the poor scenting conditions here that we've had, it's hard to tell, but it seems like more dogs have more line control than what they used to have.
Yeah.
It used to be a little bit rougher style of dog.
Yeah.
But
well, Jason, I like the looks of your dog, and I'm hoping to get out on the final cast and see him go a little bit. He's just kind of a little guy, one of the smaller dogs that's still in it probably here, but
he's about I don't know, he's 13 and a half.
Yeah. I didn't think he was much bigger than that, but they say he's a nice little unit. So hey, congratulations!
I appreciate it.
Where'd you get qualified? Here in Missouri, probably somewhere.
Bowling Green?
Bowling Green,
Missouri.
I forget what that club is up there now, but yeah. So
I can't think of that boy's name.
Jeremy not Neff. That was in the
No, it's Josh, the guy that won the show, the world show here. What's his last name?
Oh, that's over close to St. Louis.
Yes,
Yeah, Josh Byers. Yeah.
Him and
Archway Beagle Club or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where I got him qualified.
Okay. Yeah. So they had one of the later ones. Actually.
Yeah, I just got him qualified.
Yeah.
I drove up there.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jason, congratulations,
I
man.
appreciate it.
I wish you the best of luck. And
worst I can get's fourth.
That's it. That's it. So that's not that bad. But hey, I'm sure you want to shoot for number one.
Yeah.
So
I always want to.
Hey, appreciate your time and
I appreciate it.
And good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, man. Yeah, as you could maybe tell, Jason, I had to kind of talk him into the interview a little bit. He doesn't like to talk a whole lot here. He'd rather just be out hunting and let his dog do the talking. And but we really appreciate him taking the time sitting down. And I can tell after seeing his dog work on Saturday why. I can tell what the guys were talking about. His dog he's a nice little dog for sure. So there you go. Next up is going to be Scotty Miller was handling Keaton Hamburger's Boomer dog all weekend, and Scotty was thrilled to death. He come in with smiles on his face, as did Hamburger and Keaton Hamburger and his dad, and everybody. But I pulled in Keaton and Scotty both to talk about Boomer here. So here we go, gentlemen. Final four tomorrow, Sunday, the World Championship. Scotty, you've been handling the dog.
I'm excited. This is my second trip to the Final Four.
It's
been 14 years, but I'm back. Yes.
Where was it the first time?
West Virginia in 2010.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What dog were you hunting then?
My Grand Hunting Beagle Champion, Superstar Snoopy Shy, and she was a littermate sister to Shenango Trigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So she would have been the same. We had one of that same litter called Sadie.
Yep.
One of my favorite females ever. Jump
Yes.
Dog Deluxe.
Yes.
They say that whole line was just good jump dogs.
Absolutely.
Star and all that. Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, hey, so this is your second ride in from the semifinals. What's that ride back in from the
I think
headquarters?
this one was more exciting than the first, to be honest with you. It was just that type of cast where the running was head high and hard, a lot of rabbits.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to get to that here in a little bit, but congratulations,
Thank
Scotty.
you.
Yeah. Keaton, so you've raised this dog from the start. Tell us a little bit. Who is this H&H Black Boomer?
Yeah, so we started the H&H between myself and Roger Hanning. And then obviously my dad's heavily involved, Scotty. But yeah, so I got this pup actually at the McVeigh hunt. I picked him up, and we got him started. And the first time I ran him in the wild, he caught a rabbit at 6 months old. He's
No
just
kidding.
been special to us since the beginning. The rabbit was almost as big as him as he was dragging it back to us.
So he's a 2-year-old right now.
He is two. He just
a little
turned
over-
2, in July. Yeah, so he's a young dog, and he'll find a rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. What's he off of? What's he out of?
So he's off of Logan Elm Black Butcher, which everyone
Yep.
knows about,
Yep.
and then he's off of Dora the Explorer, which
Yeah.
goes back to Hurry Up Bone Collector.
What's his name? Doggone it, in Ohio.
Pete Sloan.
Pete Sloan.
Yeah.
Pete Sloan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
sure he was probably rooting for
Oh
him.
yeah, he's been texting me, Facebook posts, everything. I saw Vicky was involved in some
Yeah.
today, because it goes back
Yeah.
to her bone collector. So
Heck yeah. So you said you raised the pup raised him basically from a pup.
yeah.
Started him, and when did you start putting him in his first hunts?
So we actually held him out a while because we were pushing Bold and Hicks,
Yeah.
and I put him in his the Junior Eliminator was his first hunt at almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I still remember Zach Bowersox was in the cast, and he said, "Man, you have something there. I haven't seen a dog hunt like that in years." And the cast didn't go my way, but that was always in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
just keep pushing him, and he's had a lot of close calls. Scotty's won a lot with him. I've won. My dad has, and a lot of these big ones, we've been close with him. And, today, this is his kind of running, where you have to jump a rabbit, run the track.
It's been tough, hasn't
yeah,
it?
it's
Oh,
been
yes.
some of the hardest. Yeah.
The first day I thought they were talking about it already in the last several weeks, how bad they need rain here. And just haven't had it, and coming down here, some of the guys were kind of warming their dogs up a little bit, and just talking about it's just rough. Can't take 3-4 rabbits, get lucky to get one they can even really hook onto. But then the first day, yesterday, Friday, 37 casts, only 3 casts that didn't come in with plus points, so that was encouraging. But man, the bottom dropped out this morning again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What were the conditions like this morning? Was
Frosty for us at first, and then it burned off quick. But the first rabbit that we jumped, it didn't go anywhere. The second rabbit we circled, and it ran pretty decent, not bad, but tracking was tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your hunts. First of all, Scotty, how does that happen that you're handling this dog?
Keaton and I, we became friends just by showing up to hunts, at our local hunts. And then we share a friend, Roger Hanning. He's our buddy.
Yeah.
And he kind of kept us all together here. And then, they needed a handler.
Yeah.
And Keaton and I actually had 2 of my pups with Boomer one time. And I told Keaton, I said, I'll handle that dog. I said, he does. He hunts like a machine. I said, and I like that.
Yeah.
So the rest is history. Here we are.
So you've handled him more in the hunts.
Oh,
than
yeah. I
this
had him in nationals this year. And
Yeah.
listen, he did very well, but I had some bad luck with handling him.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be a chore.
Yeah. You mentioned Roger Hanning. He's been involved in dogs in a long time.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
known that name forever.
Yeah.
My brother actually used to hunt a dog or two for him. That was coonhounds back in
Oh,
the
yes.
day.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I met him. Where was it? Oh, at the Nationals this last year. I finally met him, and I'd obviously seen him before, but yeah, he's kind of a quiet guy.
Yes.
But, yeah. Yeah.
He's quick to tell you if you're not running them right there.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about your hunt. So yesterday you had one. Did you run in the morning or afternoon?
I ran
run?
in yesterday morning,
Yesterday morning.
and running was tough yesterday morning, you know. And he just did what he needed to do. Just like today, he went out and he jumped the rabbit.
Yeah.
You know, he did what he needed to do.
Yeah. And then you already mentioned kind of your hunt tonight.
Yes.
Or this morning. Well, this morning, I guess. And then tonight, man, you had a barn burner, didn't you?
Oh my goodness, what a cast!
600, and we had all 3-dog casts, 4 3-dog casts, and yeah, all in the 600s.
Yeah, what a guide spot! I'm telling you, it just we had rabbits going every direction. You know, at one time we had 3 different lines called. You know, not to score all 3 lines, but we've seen 3 different rabbits.
I don't have the scorecard here in front of me. I was going to grab it, but it looked like you at least 2 and 3 lined a couple of them, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that had to be a good feeling after
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been as tough as it has been.
It was. It was just unbelievable running there. It was just like flipping a light switch on. I mean, we didn't have that the last 2 mornings.
Was it close basically throughout the hunt or what?
Oh, very close.
Was
yeah,
it?
yeah. I told him I kept track of everybody's score up till we got over 450, and then it got so confusing I lost track of everything.
Didn't know where you were.
Right.
So what was it, basically didn't know who won till
No,
at the end?
no,
added
not at
score
all.
up?
No,
Really?
No, I did not.
What is it that you like most about him?
Oh, it's his hunt. I mean, he's just got this unstoppable drive to get in there and jump you a rabbit. And that's what I like in the hounds. You know, I want that. And for me, I haven't seen a dog that could do that since the one I've been to the Final Four with the last time.
Yeah.
And that's why I told Keaton. I said, he's something special, and I'd like to be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what? When I'm sure after the hunt's over, you had a dog in the finals or in the semifinals too. Tell us a little bit. Well, we got you here. Tell us a little bit about your hunt tonight.
Yeah, so, you know.
Or this whole weekend.
Yeah. So, you know, it started off.
Hicks.
I
You were
ran
hunting
Hicks.
Hicks.
Yeah. And he won NHBA days this year. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, try to get those 2 big 5s. And it didn't work out. But, you know, running was tough yesterday morning. I ended up, I won on the coin flip, and then everyone, you know, 2 people moved through from the cast. And this morning, the same dog that, you know, in the coin flip cast, I drew him again, you know, and he's right there from, you know, our home club.
Yeah.
And really, you know, like Scotty said, you know, when you got outside of town, there was a lot of frost. And Hicks is a very honest dog. And, you know, he just did his thing. You know, ended up hunting 45 minutes of the cast solo.
Hey, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
2 of them actually minused out, and you got a lot of time left to hunt
Yeah.
and under bad conditions. That's got to be a little challenging.
Yeah. So
Nerve-wracking. I don't know.
Zach Shepard was out on the cast with me, and he said, "Are you going to quit pacing?" You know, I'm judging my own dog. He's by himself. There was like almost 45 minutes, and you know, you want him to go hunting, but then it's like you probably can't run it if you jump it.
Yeah.
You know, and but it worked out fine. You know,
You
and
really
then,
don't want to hear him at that point.
No. And then tonight, you know, in the semifinals, we had some decent running. It just, the conditions where we were, you know, it's weird. It's like if you go north or south, you know, it's completely different running.
Yeah,
you know?
you drew the ace dog, and I
Yes.
already talked to Jason there, but
Yeah.
just a little 13.5-inch dog there.
Yeah. And you know, really the running probably didn't suit, you know, our dog and the Butlers.
Yeah.
You know, but
Hey,
they got to be able to win in all of
Yeah.
it, and that dog beat us today. You
Hey,
know?
the conditions are what they are this
Yeah.
weekend. You know, it's like that
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hey, the dog of the hour here. Back to Black Boomer here. What is it that you like most about him?
Everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously his hunt is number one.
Yeah.
You know, his ability to recover the rabbit. He gets a lot of recoveries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
you know.
checking ability. He does.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, he might not be the first line every time, but he's not typically gonna miss. You know,
That's big.
and that's
That's
huge.
huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. You got to score every
You
time.
miss a line in good competition. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
today
hard.
it'd have
Yeah.
been critical.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and
Yeah.
it was for one dog.
Yeah. Yeah. keeping Scotty on him tomorrow morning?
Scotty's on him. We're not changing a thing.
You're going to sit in the gallery and do more pacing?
Yeah. I told him, you know, I have some superstitions, and I told him the other day, I said, Scotty, I always use the black leash. You got to use something else, you know, and he's kept red the whole time. We're not changing anything.
No.
How hard is that as a dog owner to sit back like that when you, and especially in the final cast of the World Hunt?
Yeah. Honestly,
you'd kick yourself if you handled a dog and
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful that he was willing to come out here with us. Really, you know, and for him not to handle him, he's got him through every round. You know, this is him. And the way I look at it is, you know, my dad's not here with us right now, but he has
all kinds
run
of
these dogs up. You know, I myself, I have 2 kids and a wife.
Yeah.
You know,
we got to give Tim a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Listen,
Hey, let's talk about that. He's a 2-year-old dog like this, getting him ready for a hunt here. We're just jumping. How do you train, or how do you prepare for this? Every dog probably depends on the dog a little bit, but what was the training like, or leading up to conditioning and all that leading up to this?
You know, really, we do a lot of soloing and bracing. You know, and then every once in a while we'll put them down. You know, 2, 3, 4 dogs, and let them pound. That way, they don't lose that competitive edge and that conditioning. Yeah. You know, because a lot of dogs, especially in our country and the thick briars and stuff, you know, they slow way down when you're soloing them or whatever. Yeah. So, you know, there was a lot of that, but we want them to go jump their own rabbit. So.
Yeah. So, hey, do you feel like so you ran with Ace today? Any thoughts on that? He's going to be one of them. He's going to be up against what have you told Scotty a little bit what he might expect?
Wait till the 3rd bark, Scotty.
I do anyhow, Keaton.
I know. No, and that's, you know, I don't want to, you know, I know we got to get going, but
no,
we came out Wednesday, and Thursday, Mike Roy and Randy Workman and us, you know, we all went and ran a little bit to let the dogs stretch out. And I mean, we had some pretty decent dogs down, and the running was terrible. And all of a sudden, you know, this dog that we talk about, his Hunt, he's 250 yards by himself, and he jumps this rabbit like he was glued to it and just circled it and circled it and circled it. And I thought to myself, I'm like, we might have something here.
Yeah. I knew he had something.
Yeah.
It was something.
Yeah.
So, hey, Scotty, going back to you. So you've been in this position before. What do you sleep? Do you sleep well tonight? Do you feel like it? You learned something the last time. Is there anything you do different, or what does that look like?
You know, that year in West Virginia, on that final cast, we had terrible running. I mean, actually, the halfway Annie B won it.
Okay.
And you know, Joe Brown's female, and she won on, I think, 75 circle. And, you know, the night before, I was a nervous wreck because I was traveling back to my house and then back to Fairmont, West Virginia, where Dale Pruney had the world that year. Yeah. And, it was a sleepless night. I couldn't sleep at all. In fact, I got in my truck, and 3 in the morning, we went back to Fairmont because I couldn't sleep. But tonight, I don't know. You know, I think the experience helps.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to be nervous because I know it will be. And it probably won't hit me till we step out there and turn them loose.
That's a good thing. I always felt like that's a good thing to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate your time here. Congratulations again. You brought some good dogs, man. You all had some good luck.
Yeah.
You got a couple of them deep into it here. I haven't done the placements yet, but we're going to find out here in a little bit. But I suppose you're probably going to place Hicks too here, I would think.
I hope.
2 of them. We had 12 out tonight, so 2 of them aren't going to, and I already saw one that's. But we'll see. So, hey, congratulations, and
thank you.
Good luck in the finals, boys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that interview right there with them. Scotty was he was really high on this dog. He loves this dog, as does Keaton, obviously. And again here, that dog did a nice job in the final. And the thing that's cool about is getting these guys' thoughts just before they go out. Or actually, this was right after they came in on Saturday night. Just really get their thoughts on going to the big cast of the weekend, and that's the final cast on Sunday morning, and just hear their thoughts on it. It's really interesting. But a couple of good guys right there, and I loved that interview with them. Appreciate that. So our next guest here is going to be Jason Snelson with the Cade dog. And his dog, he's a Hall of Fame dog, 4 or 5 years. I think he just turned 5 years old here this last week. And this dog he had to be a favorite here. A local dog. He's done a lot of winning everywhere. He you're going to hear that he kind of got caught up with a big sheep dog and had to be stitched up and everything. But the dog looked pretty good as far as being healthy and happy and all this and that. But Jason's going to talk some about that. But I'd say he's certainly one of the favorites. And he had a really good weekend all the way up to the final cast and deserving of being here. So here's my conversation with Jason. With Eukanuba, I've found digestibility is as good as it gets. I've also discovered daily rations are less, with a solid stool and no waste. I've not had a dog that doesn't like it or that hasn't performed as good or better on Eukanuba. But don't take my word for it, folks. Give it a try. Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner of UKC. How about it, Jason? You're in the Final Four with Cade. World Hunt.
Hasn't sunk in yet.
Hasn't?
No.
Hey, 3 rounds here. So there's 4 rounds total, obviously 3 rounds. So first round you come back, you ride back here. Hey, first one is a win. You win a lot with Cade. Not a big. He's one of the favorites, obviously, but get that first one out of the way. Friday morning, what does that feel like coming back?
Wonderful. It was wonderful. I didn't sleep Thursday night, and one round at a time is what I've been telling everybody all week. So, yeah.
Well, you've got a lot going on. You're helping guide and everything else, and that probably just adds a little pressure. You got a good dog to hunt, and
it does. But it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good. Our running conditions aren't the best, but it's been good enough.
That has been a lot of talk, But really, the first day, 37 casts, only 3 that didn't have plus points that came back in that didn't have a total score of plus points.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's still really good. But then this morning, man, I don't know what it was. Just the bottom kind of dropped out of it a little bit. But now this afternoon again, there's pretty good scores coming in again.
Yeah, I think we were pretty close to what we scored this morning. I think we had 5-something this morning still.
Yeah,
so it's not bad.
You did, but not you were the exception. But hey, first of all, where are you from? You're from Wazola, Missouri. How far is that?
It's a little dot in the map south of Ava, right in between Ava and Gainesville.
Yeah. Well, tell folks here what do you do for a living?
I'm a roofing contractor.
I thought you had your own business.
Yep.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
Off and on my whole life. I taught for 7 years. I was in the school system for 7 years,
Yeah.
and then probably the last 7 years I've been on my own roofing. So,
I got a couple of kids.
I've got 4 kids. I've got 2 that are pretty much adults and 2 new babies.
You
8
got
months
new
old.
babies,
You bet.
twins.
You bet.
Little
They're excited
girls.
this week too.
Yeah.
They're not sleeping this weekend either. So
How old are
that's
they?
good. 8 months.
8 months. So they're not running around yet.
Not yet, but they're getting there.
Yeah. Well, identical twins too.
They're not, but
they're not.
But they're really close.
They
but
look
they're not
identical to me.
Yeah.
So, Cade here. Let's talk about him. How did you get him? How did he come
long
about?
story. I had bought a litter mate to Cade as a puppy, and he started and got ate up by coyotes. And when he did, I ended up getting half of Cade, and then over the course of the next 6 months, I traded for the other half of him, and rest has been history. Gary Moore owned the other half of him. He was the breeder on him.
Yeah, and he was off of Gary's dual grand female.
Yeah, Miss Shine. She's a John female. Yeah.
Off of Mike Roy's
John Dog
Yeah.
and Zach Shepard's Cash Dog.
Yeah. Dry Fork Cash used to be riding hours. Mike
He
riding hours
was.
old
Yep,
Dry
he
Fork
was.
Cash, yeah. Yeah, so the dog's bred good. So he's what, a 6-year-old?
He turned 5 this week.
He
turned
just turned 5,
Thursday
yeah.
or Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So he's got to be in the prime of his life, or where would you put him in as far as prime?
He up until 2 weeks ago, he ended up getting mauled by sheepdogs. I think I told you that.
You told
2
me
weeks
that.
ago.
Yeah.
He looked the best he's ever looked.
Yeah.
And then he's been put up the last 2 weeks, but he's still okay. He's all right.
Do you think the conditions haven't been hunting him here in these conditions kind of it gives him an edge here at home and everything a little bit?
Yeah, I do, and him getting to sleep in his box as well. He gets sleeping every hunt we go to, we travel.
Yeah.
And he's tired by the time we get there, and he's finicky. He'll get constipated when we travel and everything else, and he's getting sleeping in the house.
Yeah, but
right
you've
now,
still done a lot of good with him on the road.
I have.
traveling
I've been
too.
blessed with him. I have.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I am. You look at the list of 175 dogs when you start, and for me, I know he's very capable of any Hall of Fame. He's done a lot of winning, obviously, but I know I told the girls at the office he's going to be one to beat for sure, and here he is.
I sure hope so, but after he got hurt, I was awful worried. I hadn't ran him in the last 2 weeks hardly at all. I soloed him a couple times this week is all he'd been run. He'd just been on the treadmill.
Tell us a little bit about what happened.
He got hit with those sheepdogs and had 50-some stitches in him, and I had to keep him in a crate the last 2 weeks pretty much, except this week I ran him 2 or 3 times solo was it. So he's not ran up. He's not in as good a shape as I'd like him to be, but he did all right.
But he still. I saw him yesterday when you brought him in for a picture. There were a couple times, I guess, here yesterday and today now, and he looks like he's happy and healthy and everything.
Yeah, he is. He's my boy. He's spoiled too.
You keep him in the house, you said?
Yeah, we do. He's a house dog. Yeah,
he's a house dog. Yeah. What do you like about him? What's his style? For somebody that has never hunted him or hunted with him, how would you describe him?
Everybody describes him as a fast dog, as a speed and drive dog. He has had the majority of jumps. That's what most people overlook on him. He's had the majority of jumps this weekend. He's a jump dog, and he's an honest jump dog, and really hustles in the check area, gets a lot of checks, and he's just my boy.
Yeah, well, you say that, I'm looking at your scorecard from tonight. Scored 605 here in the semifinal to win this cast, 605. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 out of 7 rabbits here. He jumped 5 of them.
Yeah, one of them I gave him 2 barks on it and gave that one away. He took a second on that one, so he should have had another one. Really, that was my fault. But
yeah. So do you? So you've got another local dog in here, Jason
Rhodes.
Jason Rhodes, ace dog.
Yeah.
Have you hunted with him?
I don't think that I have. I drew Jason at the World Qualifier actually this year. My dog did. But I don't remember which dog it was now. I just remember it was Jason.
Yeah, so you've not hunted much. You don't know a whole
No,
lot
Jason
with
don't
him.
hit the hunt. He's a big hunt guy.
Yeah.
That's about all we see him is at big hunts, and he packs a dog that'll win every time he comes.
And then Yogi Bear out of Ohio.
Yeah, I've hunted with Yogi before. Yogi's a good dog.
Yeah. And then the fourth dog is one of the Hamburger's dog out of Pennsylvania.
I've never saw him, so I guess I will in the morning.
Yeah, and they're all 4 of these dogs are very capable, man, and it's nobody should be surprised to see any one of these 4 here where they are. Well, how do you feel about going in with Cade against these dogs?
I'm all right. We're in Missouri. There's not a dog on the country that Cade can't beat in Missouri. I'm full confidence in that. Will he win? I don't know, but he can if he has his day. He's tired, but he'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, what you said you hadn't slept much here in the last. No, what's tonight gonna?
It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be
what?
3 nights in a row. Yeah, it's nerves. It's nerves. I've looked so forward to the World coming to Missouri where we could have it local and I didn't have to travel and my dog could sleep in his bed and it's all nerves. Yeah.
Well, hey, I know I want to thank you here. You and a bunch of other guys from here have been very religiously coming out east to the major events and had a long drive. This year we're coming out here and had a bunch of guys come over here. But I want to thank you. I know you're very involved with putting on this hunt as far as getting the guides and places to hunt and stuff like that. And we really appreciate all the effort
problem.
that's went into it.
I've enjoyed it. We enjoy traveling too. That's good. So
yeah, it's always good to go to different places.
You bet.
So,
you bet.
Hey, Jason, congratulations! You're one of the good guys in the sport, and I'm sure you got a lot of people pulling for you and old Cade tomorrow. So
my phone is blowing up. You're right. But
so
thank you.
You're very congratulations. We'll see you at 7:00 in the morning in the finals.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Jason. So yeah, there was Jason. You can hear he was fired up about this, and he's got a couple superstitions, and he was raring to go, and he and so deserving of being there. He needed to, or he's done a lot of winning with his dog. It's been good to him, and he's one of the good guys in the sport, So I was happy for Jason for sure. Our next and last interview you're going to hear from as far as the 4 handlers before the final cast. That's going to be Jacob Koons from Gloucester, Ohio. He had the Yogi Bear dog, And this dog was actually also our champion winner at the Nationals this year, and here he was again in the Final Four of a Big 5 event. So here's Jacob and I talking about Yogi Bear. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm good.
Gosh, here you are again, Final Four. When was the last time? It seems like, 4 or 5 years ago?
21. I think
Caldwell,
it's 3.
Ohio. Was it Caldwell?
3 or 4, yeah. Caldwell, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Man, as hard as it is, a lot of guys say, hey, sometimes when you're here, it seems like it's not that hard, but it's hard to get back. But here you are again.
Fortunate. I was telling Aiden a minute ago, I said, don't take it for granted because you never know, you might not make it again.
Yeah.
So I feel very lucky.
Yeah. So, Missouri, have you hunted over here much before or not really?
Came out one time. It was in 18 or 19 to NHBA day, so springtime.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And had really good running.
Yeah.
So, but this is my second time, and we actually came out early. We were here Tuesday morning.
Oh, so you had a couple days, most of the
got
week.
settled in a little bit.
Yeah. Think that helped your dog a little bit? Is that what?
I think so. I think he's settled in the last 2 days more, but probably getting here a couple days helped him too. That was kind of the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's start, before we talk about the dog, let's talk about you a little bit. How long have you been hunting dogs? And I know you hunt coonhounds too, so talk about all that a little bit.
Coon dogs, I probably started going with Dad when I was 7 or 8. I was in the first youth night hunt. I think I was in 4th grade. And then the Beagles, Dad had some Beagles when I was younger, and we gun hunted a little bit, but not much. And then I got one, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, but I didn't start in the Beagle trials until I think I was a junior or senior in high school.
Oh,
and so it's been 11 or 12 years. So
how do you do it all? I know you used to play a lot of sports and this and that. That had to be hard to hunt dogs and all that. And now you're married, now got your own business and all that. Probably doesn't get much easier.
We stay busy. I've gave up a few things to be able to do it. My parents and my wife, I'm in and out of the driveway all night, every night pretty well.
Yeah.
But I don't coach anymore, so that got me some time back. And we stay busy, but I have a lot of help also. Brandon helped me forever.
Brandon
Alflick, yeah. He's taking a step back right now. No one else knows this, but he's about to have baby number 5. I'm allowed saying it though. So, but
this will come out Wednesday, I think.
The people know it's out now. But it was new to me.
He's got 5 kids.
About to have 5.
No kidding.
Yep.
Well, you're way behind.
I am. My wife's pushed me to catch up. But no, Brandon, he helped me forever, and it's been about a year. He's kind of taken a step back. All the dogs at my house, but Benji Robinson and Donovan Guy, they help me a lot in keeping dogs ready, going to hunt if they're chasing points. And I'm lucky to have them. And my brothers, they gun hunt with me a bunch and help keep dogs right too.
Yeah. Hey, that's good to have other guys to kind of help each other a little bit, and where you can to help each other out.
It's hard to do it on your own.
Yeah. Hey, I can see that. So Yogi Bear, he's a Grand Hunting Beagle champion. Let's talk about him. Off a world champion, off a runner again.
Yep.
And his daddy just won the world hunt. We just talked about that a little bit ago, and several years ago there. So how did you end up with him?
He was born at Brandon's house. We made the cross on Cruz, which is Hyde Holler Cruz. She was at Dole Grand. That was really the first one Brandon ever trialed.
Okay.
And I had Rosie, had Rosie, Crook, and Cruz. They're all litter mates, and that's what Soul came out of, and Clyde came out of Rosie. So it's all going back to the same stuff, really. Runner. We bred him to Cruz, but Cruz is also Soul's mom.
Yeah.
So it's a little sweeter winning with Bear because being out a runner and a brother to Soul, and we just lost Soul last fall.
Yeah.
So it's a little sweeter this time.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you did a lot of winning with Soul, and Brandon hunted him probably, or handled him in the hunts more than you did probably.
Yes.
Seemed like had a lot of success with him. So it comes from a family of rabbit dogs here.
Yeah, and actually, John Hurt had him. Bought him as a puppy.
That's where the Black Saddle name comes from.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Yogi's got his name announced a little bit this spring. So
Yeah, he is.
John-
Yeah,
he
at
has
the
his-
nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was it? Champion division?
yeah, overall in the champions.
champion division winner. Yeah.
But
nationals.
I've had him. I think it was about the last year at the World Hunt is when I got him back from John, and I just gun hunted him through the winter, and then broke him out this spring.
Yeah.
Finished him, and the brother. It's funny because my brothers Tanner and Sawyer, they got to where if we're going gun hunting, Bear had to go, and that's kind of when we thought he might be able to do something and just catch the right breaks.
Hey, you know the guys that just like to pleasure hunt. They know which ones are the good ones.
Yeah,
Don't
it don't take them
Yeah.
long. Sometimes they see them quicker
Yeah.
than we do.
Yeah.
We overthink it some. And
Yeah.
They want something to bring the rabbit back around to them.
Yeah. So you mentioned soul collector off a cruise here. Do you see any similarities here between Yogi and what do you call him, Yogi or Bear?
I call him Bear.
You call him Bear.
Yeah, the brothers call him Big Red.
Yeah.
But
See any
Bear.
similarities? But they don't look alike.
No, they don't look alike. They're different. He kind of runs a track kind of like Soul. But he is right. I always say he's right in between Runner and Soul in a lot of ways. Runner was tight mouthed, used it right, very clean when he ran a track. He is tight like Runner, hunts like Runner. Runner jumped a lot of rabbits, but you wouldn't think he was hunting like Soul was. Soul was cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
He runs track like Soul, but hunts like Runner. So.
Yeah. So tell us about your hunts you've had so far this weekend. 3 rounds now.
So I think here, this past round was probably the best running. Scored 1 line, but we ran almost the whole time. Had a first strike and a first line. Had a couple splits. Was fortunate enough and got a couple of the right breaks. This morning, dogs didn't have that much running. Dogs got into some trouble and Bear stayed out of it. And then on the first round, he jumped 2 rabbits, had a first line and line by himself. So he's done what he's needed to do, but he's caught the right breaks along the way. It's not that he's looked super. Yeah. He's just done enough.
Yeah. 4 males in the cast, in the final cast. I'd have to go back and look when I'm sure that's happened before, but it's got to be a while. I can't think off the top of my head since I've been involved.
I can't either. I don't know who was in the finals when Mongo won it. Mongo, Trump.
Yeah, I couldn't tell
I can't think
either.
of the other 2 there,
yeah.
but no, I mean,
always remember the winners.
Yeah, and 2 females just won it, back to back. So,
but do you know much about any of the other dogs? Have you hunted with any of the others?
I don't think we have Cade, which I haven't ran with, but I know Jason's always has a nice dog, and he's been dominant everywhere, especially out here.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 2 I haven't ran with.
Yeah, well, I know they're talking about the ace dog that he's been looking good too.
And he's from out here, correct?
Yep. And then the young dog out of Pennsylvania, Hamburgers, and so. And I'm looking forward to it. It's a recipe for a good hunt. You never know.
Yeah,
but
the hamburgers, they've been hot the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well, you've had a lot of success here with your line of dogs for sure. Have you been? Have you got any other litter mates or anything else that?
We actually got one ran over. Donovan had Birdie. She was the one we were excited about out of that cross, and that's kind of why we went and got Bear back. Okay. But I have another one, Sprout. I just got back from Brandon.
Yeah.
But no. Littermate wise, not so much, but I have a couple young dogs out of Soul that I'm excited about. Yeah. So pretty similar, but a little different too.
So you've been in this position before, several years ago. His daddy, you had him in the hunt. How does that? You feel like that helps you a little bit, or is there anything? How do you go into this? Any different than you did before because you've been there before? You thought about that?
They've been asking me that.
I don't know how you're doing any different. You won it last time.
And no, I'm probably a little calmer than I was last time, but I try to always remind myself there's just 4, got to beat 3 dogs or, there's only 3 other dogs. And a lot of this, you got to have a good dog to give you a chance, but you got to get the right breaks. Things have to go the right way. So, and I'm very happy with what he's done. So I'm going to leave here happy, but this is the big one. I like coming to the big hunts. That's why I do it for.
Well, you've won one before, and that's got to be sweet. I don't know how it would be. I've never been there, so I couldn't even say how that was, or how that might be. But to win two and another one off of a dog that you already won it with, what would that mean to you?
Oh, it would be, my bucket list was to win a world hunt, and I'd be very satisfied if that's the only one I won. But I always tell Donovan and Brandon, while there's a pup out of them that can win, I won't be hunting something out of runner to try to do it with one of him. But it would be sweet. It would be. It'd probably be sweeter than the first one even. Yeah. And I can't even imagine. And stuff out of your own stock and all this and that, and like that's got to be. Yeah, that's why I love the genetics. My dad has always loved the genetics, and I must get that from him. But I love the genetic side of it and the breeding side. So it's that much more rewarding when it comes from that stuff.
Yeah. How is he holding up this week? Got a little warmer today. It hasn't been too bad, but it did get a little warmer.
He's a little. He's out there sleeping right now. He has been the freshest of the dogs we've brought out. I will say that. Some of the other ones, I think I might have pushed a little too hard these last couple of weeks. I thought I didn't, but I think they're a little too sore, a little too ran down. And he seemed pretty fresh. And he probably hadn't ran like the other ones had, just because I kind of know what he needs. So hopefully he keeps settling in, things go right. But with these tough running conditions this week, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah. Well, hey, he got you this far. Or he got you right where you want to be. He's got to be exciting. Congratulations, Jacob. And I appreciate your time sitting down here with us. And good luck in the final.
Thank you very much.
Alan, I know we both have new Dogtra Pathfinder 2s. How are you liking yours so far?
I'm liking it. I've even had the opportunity now to use mine where I didn't have service, where I download the map of that area, and it works flawlessly. Love it.
I agree. I really like my Dogtra Pathfinder 2 as well. I've used it quite a bit the past few months. I really like the crystal clear maps. I like that it doesn't lose service very much, and I don't have many bad things to say about it at all. Dogtra Pathfinder 2, the official GPS collar partner of UKC.
Yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Jacob. As you could hear, he'd been there before, just not too many years ago with the sire of Yogi Bear, and it's interesting to get his thoughts, this second time around like this. And so that was late on Saturday night when I interviewed all of those 5 guys there that you just heard from. And but after that is going and wait until the next morning to run that final cast, and so the next morning we were back at the headquarters, and about 6:45 everybody's there, and we didn't waste a whole lot of time, and got a final 4 cast photo put together, and we headed about 25-30 minutes down towards Ava, Missouri, where Mike Roy was guiding, and he had this awesome spot, lanes mowed everywhere. And just a great spot. It was back in off the main roads, a good little piece, but gosh darn, what a good recipe for to put a final cast into, for sure. But anyways, much like the other 2 mornings, it was just tough. The running was tough, but it is what it is, and it's just a lack of rain for the last 5-6 weeks. They've just had nothing there, and it made it tough, but it was a level playing field, I guess, so to speak, for everybody. But in the end, we had a good cast, and they did end up getting some scoring in the 90-minute hunt, and in the end, it was obviously Yogi Bear that ended up winning it, and so when we got back to the clubhouse headquarters and everything, got the photos taken and all. I ended up getting a chance to sit down with Jacob again and talk about this win right after that. And that's another thing that's always interesting to get their thoughts right after that. But before we do that, get into that interview, I just want to thank all the guides and judges and anybody that guided a cast. Really appreciate everybody's effort. One of our field reps that was kind of set up to be our go-to person there, Brian Mudgett. He had an unfortunate, or his son and grandson had an unfortunate ATV accident, both in the hospital, and the situation is not good. And this just happened here in the last week, and Brian could not be there. So they raised some money there for him, just like a lot of times when there's somebody needs some help in our sport here, it seems like the hunters always come together to try to help somebody out. That was certainly the case here, and they raised a bunch of money throughout the weekend to hopefully help them out a little bit. One of that group was on the semifinals Saturday night. The judges we had, they all donated their money back for judging or whatever. That judge money all went to them, a couple $100 there. So I appreciate that. And I want to give a shout out to our judges that helped us, the non-hunting judges that stuck around: Jeff Stacy, Kristen Bundy, Kevin Weaver, Alan Newby, Jeff Davis, Eric Yant, and then Brian Hutton and Joe Merritt helped us out judging those semifinals. So thanks to those guys, need a lot of help, and a lot of them were from out east, had a long ways to go. And I also want to thank Eric Yant and his dad Donnie and Jeff Davis for sticking around and judging the final cast there on Sunday morning. So but again, just want to thank everybody there. And before we get to the final cast interview and the final interview here that we have with Jacob, I want to go through and recognize all of our winners in the hunt here as follows. I'm just going to start right at the top. Our first place winner, as I mentioned, the world champion, is going to be Grand Hunting Beagle Champion Black Saddle Yogi Bear, Jacob Koons, Brandon Alflick of Gloucester, Ohio. That dog was handled by Jacob. Second place, Hunting Beagle Champion H&H Black Boomer, male, handled by Scotty Miller. That's owned by Keaton Hamburger and Roger Hanning from Claysville, Pennsylvania. Third place this year, Rhodes Ace, male dog owned by Jason Rhodes of Thayer, Missouri, handled by Jason. In fourth place was Grand Hunting Beagle Champion Hall of Fame, Grand Champion Brook Hollow Cade, Jason Snelson from Wasola, Missouri, handled by Jason. And fifth place, Hunting Beagle Champion High Prairie Ghost, Lance Little is the owner of Seymour, Missouri, handled by the 15-year-old Aiden Little. Sixth place this year, Grand Hunting Beagle Champion 2, Heat 'em Up Riptide, Josh Ware and Braden Neely are the owners, handled by Braden Neely out of Grafton, West Virginia. Seventh place, Grand Hunting Beagle Champion 2, Clifty Creek's Ball Peen, Mike Roy and Garrett Cunningham are the owners of Ava, Missouri. This dog was handled by Garrett Cunningham. In eighth place, Grand Hunting Beagle Champion Hall of Fame, Grand Champion Butler's Tank, a male owned by Nate and Brock Butler of Homer, Michigan, handled by Brock Butler. Ninth place this year was a Hunting Beagle Champion Broken Guns Hydra Shock, a female owned by Harley Swiger III of Worthington, West Virginia, also handled by Harley there. And in 10th place, Grand Hunting Beagle Champion Cottontail Crazy Buzz, a male owned by Randall Workman of West Findlay, Pennsylvania, and handled by Randall Workman. So there's our top 10 this year, and it was just a good event, and it's always exciting on Saturday night there where we do the placement, see where everybody places, and so just a good event there, and I know Taylor and Katie, also another one of our co-workers, Katie Ruffing, that was there. We had a good time with everybody, and we sure appreciate everybody being there. And I know Taylor, you brought in some work and stuff people turned in, and I know you processed a lot of it while you were there at the event, right? How did you come along with all the paperwork that was turned in, puppy papers, transfers, and all that?
Yeah, everything turned in, got processed. So as soon as I get back to the office on Tuesday, I'll be able to get it printed and mailed for everyone. So good to go.
Perfect. That sounds good. They're going to appreciate that. So anybody turned in papers there, why, it's already got processed there at work or there at the event while everybody was out hunting. So you should get that back pretty quickly. So, but beyond that, also just want to congratulate everybody again. And without further ado, we'll listen to this final podcast or the final interview with Jacob Koons, the eventual winner, and I know right after the hunt, his first call he made walking back to the truck, he made a call to his dad, and he got a little emotional talking about that. But man, a good guy here, and I think you're going to enjoy this interview. Here's Jacob. Well, Jacob, the last person I interviewed last night on Saturday, or Saturday night was you, and one of them was going to come back. Here you are. We talked a little bit about what it would mean to you, what it would. Gosh, has it sunk in? The ride back from the field now. You've done it.
This one I think sunk in pretty quick. The last one didn't, but this one, a lot more emotions wrapped up in this one than the last one, I think. I was pretty numb the first time.
Yeah, well, tell us why that is.
Multiple, I think a few different things. You always dream about getting there, then you finally get there and you think, there's no way it could happen. And it does, and it's just a dream come true, I think, for any handler. And then this second time, owning the sire and him winning the world, I mean, you always hope, but you never dream it would happen. And just a lot of emotions with my family and the line of dogs, and everything my dad, my brothers, and my mom and my wife and everybody has done. It all comes out on a big one. I try to appreciate it all the time, but you really get a chance to reflect on everything that goes into it when it finally happens. So,
does it allow you to enjoy the moment a little more than maybe if you kind of know you've been there before?
I think so. I think I didn't feel...
Or the whole not just the moment, but the whole process.
Yeah, it does. And I just think of all the little conversations I have with Brandon. I remember when we got Bear back this winter from John, I told Brandon he needs to find the text. I texted him like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was running. I said, Bear's won. He'll win the next big one. And I thought that was nationals, and I was very happy, but I just texted him. I said, you need to find that text because I want to save that one.
Yeah, so we're talking about Yogi Bear. He's world champion now. So walk us through our hunt today. And before you do, just for folks, again, we had a black boomer out of Pennsylvania. He was the youngest dog in here at 2 years of age. Mm-hmm. Keaton Hamber, Roger Hanning, Scotty Miller was the handler there. Jason Snelson had his Brook Hollow Cade dog, the Hall of Fame dog. Obviously, you see why he was very deserving. Nice hound as well.
Two-time eliminator winner, I believe.
That's right. And then obviously Yogi Rhodes Ace, a young hound that I didn't really know anything about, but he also looked good right off the tailgate this morning. You could see him getting right to work like that. All of these hounds, man. Jason Rhodes are from Thayer, Missouri. But first, what were your emotions like coming here on this final morning? What did that feel like? And then your thoughts on the way going to the field this morning. Talk about that.
We're routine people. Me and Benji and Donovan have been here all week, and nothing changed this morning, anything else, but probably a little bit more focused, I'm a thinker. I think Jamie Stepp always said me and Drew are the same. We're thinkers when it comes to handling. And I try to think out as many situations as I can so I can be prepared. But I have been in this long enough to where I know that it's all about getting the breaks, and the style running might fit one dog today and not tomorrow. For me, I was just hoping not to get in any dog's way and give them the best chance. And like you said, all dogs look good. Kate has won so much out here, and I would have bet on a local dog, especially the way the running conditions have been. But fortunately for Bear, these tough tracking conditions where we can't always finish a track like we'd like, it played into Bear's hand this weekend.
Yeah. The spot we went to. Talk about you going to the field. What were your emotions? Or do you think it helped you haven't been there before?
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps. I'm probably a little bit more relaxed. and not just from the world hunt, but I'm in quite a few casts, whether it's in Beagles or coon dogs.
For you, this dog, his daddy is also won the world. Did that add more pressure or less? Or
Probably more.
More pressure?
Because I always said if I ever win it again, I wanted to be with one out of him.
Yeah.
So I even made I could have hunted my other male dog Clyde and stuff this weekend. I have a grandpuppy runner, Jim, I was going to handle, but I told myself I was going to hunt the two that were out of runner. And my wife's been sending me pictures of runner laying on the couch and on the bed all week, and she sent me one this morning.
Yeah.
He wasn't too excited. He was asleep, but yeah, it adds a little bit of pressure, and it makes it that much sweeter.
So we get out there, we kind of look around a little bit, paths mowed everywhere. It looks like a premier spot for a rabbit. Beautiful spot. So you turn loose, and it didn't take long for a couple of the dogs to get struck in, struggled on the first track already, and you talked about that a little bit. But kind of walk us through the whole hunt just from your perspective.
Yeah, so beautiful spot. Mike Roy and Garrett and all the Missouri guys have really done a great job this week, having these spots all mowed up, and everywhere I've went there's been plenty of rabbits and a lot of scoring opportunities. Sometimes the running wouldn't allow us to score, but it wasn't from the lack of rabbits or a spot. Cade with the first strike, which I anticipated, and he's an honest strike dog. He always does a good job, and I thought the way it started, I thought that track wouldn't go anywhere, but they got it up and running. I was struck in late for fourth. And they ended up producing that rabbit and found a place of refuge. So, I'm sitting at 50, and I know I'm 50 down. Pull off there, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, if I can stay closer in the ball game, that and frosty morning like that, and the way the running's been, I'll probably have a chance if something gets in trouble. Next turn loose, two dogs get in trouble. I'm able not to get in, so I felt good there. Next track, same thing, had a split. Next time dogs get struck, I think the three are going to take a 50 minus, but they had a place of refuge, which I thought, man, that's a tough break for me. That might be what, that might have been my chance. Then we get turned loose again, and dogs get struck.
You're very much still everybody's very much still there.
Yep, still in the ball game. And then I believe gets, I think Boomer.
I think it was actually Boomer that struck.
Boomer was in there deep and struck. Mm-hmm. He did a good job going hunting. I would say he was well over 100 yards when he struck, and I think he was looking at it when he struck. I mean, it was a jump. Took a while for the second and third dog to get in.
I think you're right. I think it was actually Cade.
Let's see here. Third rabbit. Yeah, it was Cade.
Looking at the scorecard there. Yeah, It was Cade.
But they took a while for the other three to get in. Then there's a split. And then the one track ended where we could see them. They found a place of refuge there, and they get in with Cade and them. They run up through there. It takes a long time for Bear to get struck. They get struck, and when they do all get struck, then they're split. And Jason watched Bear and Cade run a rabbit underneath a piece of old farm equipment. So we go up there, find a hole under the farm equipment. They go back in with the other dogs. We hustle over there, and seemed like me and Jason was away from the other cast for so long, seemed like forever. And we finally get over there to them. They're running. The other Cade gets back in. Bear gets back in. I think there's probably
we 12. As in your dogs is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. So Cade and Bear are both back on their track now. That ours had ended. Staying there, dogs are running better than they had all morning probably. Get a line coming right at us. And I thought, well, this will determine it. And just luck, the way it shakes out. Cade was a little lower. Kind of probably went into a short lose. Cade did a good job picking it up just on the bottom side of where we saw the rabbit. Everything missed. They took it for another loop. And then rabbit squirts out in front of us. They go into another little lose. Bear happens to pick it up in the right spot and bring it across. Scores one by himself and barks enough on the other side of the path there to get the dogs to go to him. they miss, and there was just a few minutes there left. I think I told Brandon I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a dog score a line in my life than that one right there.
Yeah, see, and that one, you really needed that one right there. That made the difference right there.
Yeah, I thought
that line did.
I thought we were
by yourself.
Yeah, and I kind of knew that, and then with 3 minutes left, I thought, if just nothing crazy happens, this might actually happen again.
So what's going through your mind at this point? 3 minutes left in the hunt. You've now got this. You got to feel pretty good at this point, as tough as the conditions are.
I just think of all the ways I could get beat. Honestly, like I said, I think about what could go wrong, but when we were under 3, I felt very confident, But Boomer seemed like the dogs kind of got hung up, and Boomer took that track on. I thought, well, this rabbit comes flying down this path in front of us. Boomer scores by himself, and it's a whole nother thing. So, but those 3 minutes went by surprisingly quick. I thought it felt like an hour, but that's a feeling.
Yeah, when it's over, when they announce that the hunt's over, there at that point, it's how long does it take to sink in at that point?
Those last couple of minutes, I have some feelings coming up. I can feel them, and it's just been a fun year with him winning nationals and champions. It makes it even sweeter. But I can't wait to call everybody that matters to me.
Yeah,
so.
well, we took a couple photos there when you were there just before we headed back to the truck, and then we started heading back. Tell us about that walk back. You called your dad.
Yeah, I'll get emotional now, but I enjoy those calls, and hopefully I get to make a few more of them.
Yeah.
So he was excited.
Proud, I'm sure.
Yeah. And we've been doing it a while, so he's only had 2 days like this.
Yeah.
So we try to hold on to him, and that's the only thing I wish was it was a little closer. We could have had him and my brothers here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got to call my wife, and she knows how much this means to me. And then I'm gone a lot, and she knows I'm going to be gone a lot when it comes to this stuff, and I appreciate her putting up with it. She's taking good care of running her in the house while I'm gone. Yeah. Trying to house break 11-year-old dog. She has her hands full, but But no, and calling Lyndall Perry. He's one of my best friends.
One of your coon hunting buddies.
Yeah. Calling Brandon Offlick. He was my second call. We started this when I think I was a sophomore in high school and he was a senior. We had some rough, long days. I'm talking, we thought we'd never make a dog a champion. And then being in the finals with him the first time meant a lot. And he actually kind of struck the deal to get Bear back. So I was really happy to tell him, Jamie Step, and then we got the Redwood group chat, about 20 guys in there, and when that's my phone will buzz for the next 10 days. But I'm very fortunate to have a good team with the Redwood guys and the Benji and Donovan, and very fortunate with the guys that are around me that allow me to do this. Them guys will get dogs ready, and they think one's ready to go, they'll send it to me. So, and I can't forget to mention, Donovan handles so many dogs for me, finishes, some of the older dogs we need to get finished. And Benji had Bear from his house from nationals pretty well all the way until about a month ago. He wanted to go to some NHBA point hunts, and I told him I didn't have the time with work and coon hunting, chasing plot days and stuff. And so he's been there. Benji's, he's as much his, it seems like now, than mine. I got him back probably six to 7 weeks before this, so I had enough time to get one the way I want one. And I'm picky, so I'm glad I had that much time. But I don't know. It's starting to sink in.
Yeah. Are you thinking of, have you bred him any at all yet?
I have not.
Have not yet?
And Runner has been finally he's bred quite a few females, but the last 6 months he probably has 15 to 16 litters on the ground just the last 6 or so months. So,
Right.
and that his older pups are getting to be 4 or 5 years old. So we've been trying to push him to get some pups out of him, and that's one of the reasons we haven't bred Bear. But we'll get something out of him just for security reasons, and we'll get him collected here soon. So
Perfect. Well, Jacob, I want to congratulate you on another World Championship win with Yogi Bear here, and I will let you close this out if you have any final thoughts.
Thank you to UKC and you, Alan, for everything. Big thanks to the Missouri guys for putting on a good event out here, and Jason Snelson, Mike Roy, and Garrett Cunningham. I came out here this week, and they could not have been any nicer to me. Gave me a spot to run. Really appreciate them, and the Little family. Congratulations to them boys. They have a hot hand this year, but they gave me a place to stay for nothing, and I appreciate them very much. And congratulations to everybody else that picked up a cast win. I know a lot of things have to fall in place to even be at the World Hunt, let alone get a cast win or two. So that's an accomplishment in itself.
There you go. Good stuff from a good guy, Jacob Koons. So congratulations to him, now two-time owner, handler of a world champion out of a world champion. Grand Hunting Beagle Champion Black Saddle, Yogi Bear. So congratulations to him and his partner, Brandon Alflick, Gloucester, Ohio. But with that, I want to kind of wrap this up, and I want to, but before we do, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsors this year: Easy Loader, Dan's Hunting Gear, Dogs Are Treed, Mule, Oki, Nightlight, and Owens, and of course also Eukanuba, our partners Eukanuba and Dogtra. Appreciate everybody's support, and thanks again to everybody who came out to Mountain Grove, and we sure enjoyed having you. There's a great facility, a good fun weekend again, and looking forward to next year already. So congratulations again to everybody, and we'll wrap it up with that. Until next time, thank you everyone.
Thank you for listening to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast. Be sure to give us a follow so you don't miss any of our new episodes or content.